LinkedIn Live. So happy you could join me today. Getting off to a great start. Had great session yesterday that really focused on fast start. And this is really going to support that initiative by focusing on tagging and polling. Tagging and polling can supercharge your audience. There is so much emphasis on content and not enough on audience. And ultimately, your audience will shape your content more than your content will shape your audience. So when you're building quality content and you're really generating some really positive vibe, the key is you've got to amplify your reach. And the way to amplify your reach is to tag and to poll. Tagging will get you instant gratification from a standpoint of likes, comments, and shares. And here's the rub. LinkedIn, when you post, they share it to a small percentage of your audience, let's say 10%, and then they wait. If nothing happens to your post, nothing happens from them to your post. But if within the first hour, there's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of, participation, they look at how long the comments are, and they look at how far it reaches beyond the people you tag. If all you tag is the people who respond and it doesn't go further, LinkedIn looks at that as a negative because that could be perceived, and very well be perceived as an engagement group that just automatically supports what everybody's doing, but doesn't bring a lot of relevant content to the network. And LinkedIn's interested in benefiting all of the viewers by providing the most relevant content so that they can, stay on the site longer, share more, participate more. All of that makes a difference. So, when you get right down to it, what's the benefits of tagging? And, I will show you what I do every day, from a standpoint of, really focusing on building audience and also focusing on relevant audience. So, just to go into the benefits of tagging, they basically focus on recognizing and promoting others. I know there's a whole philosophy or mentality out there that, is feeling intrusive, feeling like maybe people won't want it. Well, here's the deal. Only tag people you know, and only tag people you feel and know are interested in being tagged. And most of the time, the recipient has the wrong mentality too, because they're expecting something in return from them, like comment, like, or share, and I never do that. I promote it, but what I really focus on my top line where I tag people is recognizing and promoting great connections. So it's really about them getting exposure. On LinkedIn, everybody's got to get their fair weight. If you're doing more than you're not going to keep doing that for long. And if you're getting more than you're given, that's going to stop eventually too. So you have to continue to build more value. And how do you do that? By referring individual and opportunities to people in your network, by introducing people to your network, and what better way than tagging? So, if you look at my tags, and I'll share them with you right now. So this is my post today, okay? And what you find, here's yesterday. And this was a great interview with Gretchen Skelka. She's a regular guest. I've got about 4 regular guests now every week. It's so cool. But anyway, let's get to tagging. So here's what you do it in the comments. Okay, so here's my first set of tags. So you can see, hopefully, right here, it starts with Dr. Marilyn Scott, who's one of my favorite connections. And if you don't know Dr. Marilyn, you have to if you're going to be serious on LinkedIn. So I would advise that. So Here's what I do: recognizing great 2023 LinkedIn connections, like, comment, and share. Dr. Marilyn, and see how far it goes. And a lot of these people, 10, 20, 30, 100,000 connections, right? So here's this group, and everything's alphabetized so I can really cut and paste it, make it happen. Same day, new group with Isaac Barakas, another great colleague of mine, great person to know. And as you can see, Jenny Miller, just wonderful people. And basically, here we go, another one. Here's Tara LaFon Gooch, another of my regular guest, great person on LinkedIn. Leslie Flowers, keep going. Carla Goldberg. Here we go, another list. Now, this is all one day. All of these people who have been highlighted, Shiny James, here's another group. And some of these people are huge. I mean, if you take Eleanor, she's basically an ambassador, and she has over, gosh, things are slow today, about 48,000 followers. So let's get back to, you see what it is, you see how it can work. Now, no one's going to get 180. Actually, I've got 300, and I've got to choose every day which 180. So here's another caveat. I only tag people who respond and are responsive within 3-4 days of being tagged. Because if they're not interested, or I don't see a value coming out of it for either one of us, then I'll replace them with the people of today. So anybody who comments, and I would say, chat's open. We've got some people here. Anybody who comments will be featured as a tag. So we've got Nitin here. And basically, it's really great to participate, because here's the thing. Just like I was saying with, tagging, getting on this show is great exposure, because this will be seen by probably 400 people after it posts, and then it will continue to be seen. So, your exposure is so key. And by tagging people, you're exposing them. So on this show, the key is to not be the best kept secret on LinkedIn, right? So, if I was focused on really being able to categorize value, it would be the ability to promote other people, givers get, more importantly, it's just good practice, to be a good citizen and to help others. And by doing more for others, you'll be doing more for yourself, because you'll be kind of proving yourself, and that's so vital today. So, as you go forward to tagging, what you're promoting, and I'll go through it real quick, is recognizing and promoting others, sharing quality content. You're notifying them when you're doing these things, and that's valuable. Amplifying your reach, getting back to the LinkedIn formula. When they see a lot of activity, they tend to support it by creating more activity that's aligned with it. Same type of people, and that continues to grow your audience. And that's what's key. And as people generate more activity with you and through you, you become more valuable. And what you're actually doing is building trust, likability, and confidence. You get bigger results. You can accelerate your success through being the first, being proactive, providing referrals, which is so very important, and really being able to look at this as something that's an investment, that you're depositing goodwill with all these people in all these different ways. Be the top of mind awareness. There's a saying, be known before you're needed. Have Zoom calls to move to the next level. and stay relevant with updates. No one needs to really focus on, things that are more in the past as opposed to things that are present and more in the future. So, looking at it from that standpoint, it's so vital. Now, moving to the ability to use polling, and that's another really important part of it, is to get questions, right? Share knowledge. And polling is a great way of being able to, focus on questions that you have, and by sharing your questions, they get exposure again, you get feedback. There's a saying, there is no failure, only feedback. And at a certain point, the more you can learn from your audience, the more value you can create and build for your audience. So, once you can get to that point, and you start seeing how valuable it is to be proactive, give first, give most, overserve, because that also qualifies everybody that you're with based on, what you're into at this point. And at the same time, it gives you the ability to get to know people better on an interactive basis. But where polling really shows up, and that's so important, is where you get to aggregate people again, get feedback, but now you have a definite permission and invitation to, thank them. Gratitude goes a long way on LinkedIn. And when you really look at it, it's so important, from a standpoint of, what you're doing to, what you're getting. And I think until people understand that, where it's somewhat backwards, you got to prove yourself. So by polling, you can share questions with your audience, get answers from your audience, which is really important in its own way. And at the same time, be able to really get back to them and say, hey, we've got a lot of common interests. So it creates a lot of quality invitations to future opportunities. And it also shows that you read, you care, that's what's so important, is being authentic. Tagging and polling can provide that for you. And, in the future, it's so important to be able to, be part of the group, not be on top of it, support it, not get over it. So with all that said, I appreciate your participation today. I look forward to being able to share this, on a daily basis. And, at a certain point, really focus on the qualities that I'm learning every day out in the field, and being able to share it with you, and being able for you to share with me, and then hopefully share with everybody else. So with that said, thank you again for your time today, and look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Bye for now.